Hi, good morning. I wanted to make this short video just to talk to you a little bit about soul contracts and soul lessons, what they are, why it matters, and why it's so important to have an understanding of them just in your life, in your business, if you're going to work with the Akashic Records or not. There are always soul contracts and soul lessons affecting your path, your destiny, and more importantly, relationships, interactions, opportunities that you have with certain people in your life. For instance, if you are married, you have a soul contract with the person that you are married to. You have children, you have soul contracts with the children in your life. And so those things are all governed by soul contracts, and soul contracts are registered, is the term we would use here on earth, right? They are located in your Akashic records. They're filed there. So if you have like a filing cabinet at your house right now, and that's where you keep all your contracts with certain vendors, etc., it's the same in the Akashic records. Now, the thing about soul contracts is they govern certain milestones that are going to happen in your life. Like I use the example, if you're married, right? That was already governed. That was destined to happen. That's why there's a soul contract for it. Now, how you use your free will to get to meeting the person that you end up marrying, that's a free will choice. So we have some flexibility in the path that it takes to get to the milestone, which is governed by the soul contract. So when you're working with the Akashic Records on something like this, it's important to remember that yes, there are certain milestones that you're going to hit, but how you get there is up to you. So you can choose the path of least resistance, which will still have some challenges. Let's face it, life is not without challenge, and we shouldn't expect it to be that way, especially if you're on a path, on a trajectory of growth. You're going to experience challenges because without them, you don't grow. We actually grow from challenge. So even the path of least resistance will have challenges. And if you're someone, especially someone that's on a spiritual path, your spirituality is part of and interwoven into your life, you're going to experience profound challenge. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but you're on a path of extreme soul growth. You grow a lot in a short amount of time and a single lifetime. And so at some point, things get easier when you learn these big soul lessons, right? Now, why you want to use the Akashic Records for something like this is you're able to look up, literally pull the file of your soul contract and read it over. See what your soul lesson is so you can start taking action to learn it in your physical reality. Now, can you learn it without looking at the Akashic Records and without logging in and looking at your soul contract? Of course you can. It's just probably going to take longer. So the choice is yours. Like, how much time do you want to spend learning this lesson? And that's going to come with frustration. How much time do you want to spend just letting this take its course on its own time frame, on its own timeline, right? That's going to be totally up to you, how you want to handle that. Now, that's what your free will is for. When it comes to soul lessons, these are a little bit different, but related to soul contracts. So when we have a soul lesson, it's recorded, not always, but most of the time in a soul contract. So like I mentioned earlier, when you look up your soul contract, part of the contract is going to list all of your lessons, things you're going to learn as you engage in this soul contract. And that's an awesome thing. Now, even working with the Akashic Records, are you going to be able to see or experience all of your soul lessons at one time just by going in and looking at this contract? No, I'm not going to lie to you. No. And there's a reason for that. You're dealing with one or two soul lessons at a time because they're kind of a big deal. So when you log in to look at this information, you're only going to see what you need to see in that moment to get you to your next step. When you've worked through that soul lesson, you're going to see the next soul lesson. And down we go, down the rabbit hole, right? You're going to keep seeing different things every time you log in. And that's because you're evolving, you're growing, and your experience is going to change. But the beautiful part about this is in that moment, you're going to get exactly what you need that's going to help you get to your next step. It doesn't matter what's 10 years down the road. What matters is what you're creating right now, because that's going to affect 10 years down the road. So when soul lessons are listed on these contracts, it might be something like when you're engaging with a certain person in your life and they're very challenging, you might have a soul lesson that this person is going to lie to you about something. It might say that in your contract, but what you're going to learn from it is that you need to trust that initial hunch. Maybe you denied how you felt when you first met them, and you went anyway, because if you're like most people, it's like, oh, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to say something that might offend them. And so you go on with it anyway, and you end up getting hurt. And you say to yourself, I should have trusted it. I felt that right when I met them. Boom, that's your soul lesson. And once you realize that and you have that awareness, it's like a download that comes into your body, and you go, okay, now I know I'm going to trust myself from now on. This is just happening naturally, right? But that's your lesson. And once you get it, that, oh my gosh, this is what's been blocking me. This is my lesson. It clears it out of your soul contract. So I teach you how to do all of this. That's why I've created this video as well. I wanted to let you know I have a whole module in my new course, the Akashic Records Intensive. This course is about 2 years old. It gets bigger every time I launch it. It's a huge program, teaches you the ins and outs of the Akashic Records. And one of my advanced modules in this program is on soul lessons and soul contracts. And I not only show you how to look them up, I show you how to resolve, heal these lessons, move past them so you can get to your next lesson and keep moving forward. I also show you how to look up soul contracts. So if you're someone that wants to see what's actually driving your motivations and getting you to respond in certain ways, you definitely want to know how to look up soul lessons and soul contracts. So I hope you enjoyed this short video. If you have any questions, hit reply to this email. We also have a live chat feature, which is, yay, awesome and new, going on our sales page, which I'm going to link you to below. So check it out. My program closes next Thursday, and I only open it 2 times a year. So it's going to be the end of the year before it reopens again. So if you want to get in on it, definitely check it out right now. Don't let another year go by, almost a year, before you start addressing some of your own blocks and things that are holding you back, because I can teach you how to do that right now, and you'll be in a completely different place by the end of this year. Sending you lots of love. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.